To say the least, the gaming community expects a hell of a lot out of the newest expansion to the 12-year-old MMORPG, World of Warcraft. After the disappointment that was the Warlords of Draenor expansion, Blizzard took the last 2 years to revitalize their flagship experience with the all-new World of Warcraft Legion. But before we get into the bulk of their new expansion, I think it's important to understand what goals the developers were trying to achieve as they worked to win back the loyalty of longtime Warcraft fans. World of Warcraft has changed a lot over the years. Too much even. Since its conception in late 2004, World of Warcraft has transformed from a character-focused RPG experience to a more social, PvP-focused brawler. Most fans are split on whether or not this paradigm shift was a good thing for the game's popularity, but judging by the huge drop in subscribers from 12 million to 3 million, it is obvious that most fans are nostalgic for the vanilla WoW era. But don't take my word for it. Judge the numbers as you will. With that said, it is undeniable that WoW will be headed into a competitive PvP market. The only question is, how well does it execute the PvP style it's trying so desperately to showcase? PvP has always been a part of WoW. Dueling, arenas, they were all fun, but not the central aspect of the game. However, with the release of the second WoW expansion, Wrath of the Lich King, PvP really took off in popularity due to the addition of the Death Knight class and areas like the Isle of Conquest. With an added emphasis on PvP, WoW developers began to expand on the concept, alienating raid players while creating a friendlier experience for people who wanted to test their skills against one another. 2 expansions later, and Legion has taken PvP to a whole new plane. In the previous expansion, player versus player revolved around the economy of honor and conquest points that were required to purchase better equipment that could be used in arena battles with other players. While this mechanic is still here with marks of honor replacing honor points as currency, equipment has been relatively devalued, with only minor boosts to damage and other core stats. The core mechanics of Legion rely on the player's skill, rather than their equipment. Finding optimal rotations for your moves and abilities is at the heart of Legion's fast-paced action. In addition to the revitalization of the PvP system, Legion has also seen smaller changes such as the 10 million gold cap, garrison, raid, and currency nerfs, new class-to-race combinations, and a new user interface, all topped off by new raids and quests that further the lore. However, the biggest addition to WoW is the new playable Demon Hunter class. Unlike class additions in the past, Demon Hunters are not ridiculously overpowered, but they offer an entirely new melee tune that we have yet to see in the game. What makes Demon Hunters especially unique is that only Blood Elf and Night Elf players can play as the new class, making them a rare encounter that appears equally on both the Alliance and the Horde. Now let me be perfectly clear. I actually joined World of Warcraft during the Warlords of Draenor expansion, because of a recommendation from my good friend, Plaid Snake. And I'm not going to lie, if I didn't have him showing me the ropes, I would have hated the game. There are so many mechanics to be aware of that it can easily get overwhelming. But this isn't a bad thing. Complex games really show off their money's worth because they offer so much content to explore. I may not be good at teaching myself new complicated gaming systems, but if you are, World of Warcraft Legion may be perfect for you. Longtime players and old fans of World of Warcraft should also take note that the glyph mechanic has been removed, along with various items and mounts. This is all according to the 7.0.3 PTR patch, so bad things may change. On the bright side, you can now switch your class specialization on the fly, and cosmetics like transmogs have been moved to a separate storage area, which is fantastic because I think the inventory could use a little bit of streamlining. Minor changes like these make a huge difference, but if you're already a long-time player, you've probably experienced these changes for yourself. Besides the new class, a huge selling point for Legion is the new continent, the Broken Isles. Aside for a fantastic opening mission on the Broken Shore, there isn't much stuff to do on the Broken Isles right now, so I'm not entirely impressed, but I'm sure that as more people join the expansion, the content will grow as well. As I just mentioned, complex games tend to be worth the money because of how much content they offer. But even World of Warcraft is asking way too much out of the player's wallet. A $50 Legion expansion on top of a $15 per month subscription fee is an absolute disgrace. It's 2016. We all know that playable servers don't cost nearly as much as they did in 2004. On top of that, the game as a whole has changed so much that the PvP experience Blizzard is going for can already be found in more competitive MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota or even Heroes of the Storm. Even if you are insistent on playing an MMO, Elder Scrolls Online, although not as expansive in lore and world area, offers a more user-friendly and fiscally reasonable one-time fee than World of Warcraft. So why uphold the subscription charge? Well, we may never know why, but as it stands, unless you are willing to shell out an insane amount of money, Legion may just have to be put on hold for another RPG that's coming out later this year. World of Warcraft Legion did a fantastic job at adding new content, expanding on the PvP scene, and telling the future of Vol'jin's Horde and Varian Rin's alliance. And for many people, including myself, this is more than enough to continue my subscription to the long-running MMORPG. However, unless you have friends to play with, the $15 per month price tag in addition to the $50 cost for the Legion installation will keep the average gamer less than satisfied. Now, I know that was really brief, but these days World of Warcraft expansions have about as much content as a Genesis cartridge. Okay, maybe that was a bit of an exaggeration, but if I was going to look at WoW in its entirety, I'd probably be sitting here until my 40th birthday. On top of that, explaining the lore of the Burning Legion and the Broken Isles, as well as deep mechanics such as macro setups and honor talents, could potentially alienate viewers, which as of late, I am desperately trying to impress. Maybe one of these days I'll go more into it, but I wouldn't expect another look into WoW for a while. I do plan on reviewing another RPG that's coming out later this year, and one that I am particularly excited for. But until then, I will be looking at a small gem in the GBA library. So, next time we meet, I will be taking a look at The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Until then, I'm Mo, and I hope you guys enjoyed my look at World of Warcraft Legion.